Hello friends! Today's video is about Outlook Calendar, and this is the last installment of our Email for Beginners series. So this is Brittany Saxton. If you've been with me the whole time, you'll know we started our journey with Email for Beginners, Google, Gmail Calendar, the Gmail app, Gmail Contacts. Then we moved on to Outlook, where we talked about contacts and the app, and now we're talking about the calendar. So we've come full circle. Hopefully you've learned at least one thing out of these 6 videos. So let's get started. When you are ready to access your Outlook calendar, there's 2 places where you can go. You can either go to the panel on the left-hand side, to the left of your left panel, and click the calendar icon. So you'll have all these other options here, and you may see a little calendar there. And if you hover over it, it'll say calendar. Or if you don't see it there, you can go to the app launcher in the top left corner, and then you may see calendar listed there in the other apps. And just like all the other calendars, it'll look pretty much the same layout wise. You'll have your left panel of options, and then in the center you will have your calendar view. However it looks like, usually it starts with a month view. And then you'll have your calendar date switcher is what I like to call it. And then in the upper left-hand corner above that, you'll have your panel toggle, which will just collapse that left panel and give you a full view of the calendar. There. And then but if you do want that option, you can pop it back out. So here in the calendar switcher, just like all other calendars, it's a mini calendar view where you can go forward months or years if you need to go that far. But what it'll do, no matter how far you go in the mini calendar, it won't change the center calendar view until you actually click on a date. Below that, you'll have add a calendar. Here's where you can create calendars for different categories or different situations you may have. So this could include if you've got kid events you need to go to, or PTA meetings and you want a separate calendar from your home calendar where you and your significant other put in events that you both need to be at, or if you have a calendar for appointments. So here I already created a work calendar. All I did was give it a name, change the icon, and you'll see it's listed here in the My Calendars drop down with my other 4 calendars. So if I uncheck that event, I won't see, or that calendar, I won't see any of the events in my main view. And then if I check it, I'll see them if I had any. If I choose the 3 dot menu to the right of that calendar, I have the option of showing that calendar only, sharing it, or seeing who has permission to access that calendar. I can also change the color of that calendar, change the charm, which is just the little icon that represents that calendar. So right now it's just a dot by default. I could pick the little luggage thing since it's for work, but that's not very fun. So I'm just going to click the task icon and it'll change it. We'll see the icon a little bit later when you're creating an event for that calendar. Now I do also have options here to move this calendar, meaning I can move it up in the list if I need it higher on the list, move it down, or move it or leave it where it was. Usually these go in the order of oldest to newest in a sense, so the new ones will be at the bottom. You can also move that calendar to the other calendar section to where it won't show up here in the main calendar section. Now if you're ready to create an event, you'll go back up to the top, click new event, and then you can choose what calendar this new event will show up on, and the dialog box will change color depending on how you have your calendars categorized. So any event I create in pink will go onto my work event calendar. And next I'll do a title. I can make it an all-day event, add date, time, add a location. I can say whether or not this is a recurring event, so does it repeat ever? And then I can have a reminder set, and then I can add a description. Now on the bottom right, I can choose more options where I'll get a larger window in order to add more information. So if I want to add an attachment or an image or a note, if I have any information to give people I may be inviting to this event. I also have a time slider I can use here where I can adjust when it starts, and then I can drag the bubbles on the top and bottom to increase the amount of time or decrease the amount of time for that event without having to type, which is really nice because sometimes I put stuff at the wrong time all the time. And then there's that icon we chose earlier to the right of to the left of the title. So it doesn't really do anything except differentiate it from your other calendar. And then you have an icon that'll let you pop that display or description window into a larger full screen window. Mine's cut off a little bit because I have my recording set to show a specific area, but you do have the option of making it full screen if you need more viewing area. So that's that. To the right of the new event button, you'll have your today button, which will take you back from wherever you are in the calendar back to whatever today's date is. So see, today's July 2nd, 66 degrees. It says, it probably doesn't feel like that. It probably feels like 100, but I'm just being dramatic. And then just like on the mini calendar view, you do have up and down arrows to go back a month or forward a month. So they're just duplicates of those, but they'll change the entire calendar view immediately without you having to pick a day like you would for the mini calendar. Now to the right of that, you'll have your year and month change, which is the equivalent of just clicking on the month date on the mini calendar and then going to that date. So that'll take you forward or backward, just like those. So if you had collapsed that left panel, you still have options to move forward or backward calendars. Now on the far right, we have our view switcher. I like to call everything a switcher, but that's what they do, they switch. So your view options, where you can choose how many days you see in the calendar. So if I pick a 3-day week, I'll see whatever today is plus 2 days additional. And this will let you see 3 days at a time. Or you can switch it to your work week, which will show you Monday through Friday. You may be able to customize your work week in the settings. And there's an actual week, which is Sunday to Saturday. And then you have a split view, which will let you look at 2 calendars at once. You can't add the third calendar, it won't show it in a split view. So you'd have to close one of the, or uncheck one of the other calendars to see it if you needed 2 specific ones and not just the first 2. So if I uncheck work events, I'll then see my consumer tech program calendar and then my main calendar. So it'll only let you see 2 at a time. And this is if you need to compare calendars, see if everyone's available at the same time or if everyone has the same event on both calendars. You can look at both of them at the same time. And then you can save that view if you need to do that. Now you'll stay in split view until you click split view again. You can also share your calendars if need be. It's supposed to be if someone needs to have access to your calendar so they can check and see if you're available when they need you or if you have an appointment that they need to take you to. And you can even print your calendar. So this will let you choose which calendar, what view you want it to show you, and then how you want it laid out. And then it'll show the agenda you may have typed for the day for that day of the week, if you have any events. Or if you just need it blank, you can do it that way. But you'll be able to write in or see what you've typed for that day if you have something on the agenda. And then you can print it out. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an event, but let's go back and get rid of the split view by clicking on it again to undo it. And so now I'm looking at just my calendar. So what I'll do is I can either tap on a day or click on a day. And I messed it up here because I double clicked, and that'll open up a medium size window. But if you click once on a time, you'll get a mini dialog window that'll let you fill in some quick information, while double clicking will give you essentially the more options screen that you get when you click on the new event button and then choose more options. So here I'm going to name my event, and then I can invite people if I want to by clicking on the emails here that are in the suggested contacts. If you want someone who's not in the suggested contacts, you just need to start typing, because you can't like click on the little people icon there to get your full contacts list. What you'll want to do is start typing. So if you remember the name of the group you created, or if you remember the name of the person you want specifically added there, you'll first start typing. You can search through them or go ahead and click on the contact you need. And since all the people I had already initially started adding here are in that contact list, I can go ahead and get rid of them from here and just leave the work contacts group, add in my date and my time. So I can choose how long it is, and you'll notice on the right hand side in the preview the length of time got longer. And then I can add a location. I want to do that. I do have to allow my browser to access my location, so that way it can tell me which one specifically that I want. So if I choose the Minsky's I want on 291, I can choose that. And then when I want my reminder to remind me to leave, sometimes if you add your location and you may be using the app, it may connect with your Maps app and say, hey, you might need to leave. It'll take you 10 minutes to get there, because it kind of has an idea of, hey, this is on their calendar. They also put the location, and I know their drive time will take more time. So you do have that option. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. And then you may see a little information bubble saying this, you're not putting this event on your main calendar, because you'll notice my screen is pink, showing it'll go on my work events calendar. And so if people respond saying they're going to it, I won't see it in the calendar, like underneath where attendees will be. Once I've got everything finished, I will get an email saying they responded. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to be able to see, hey, these people in my work contacts said yay or nay. You need to go check your emails. Now, since I'm sending it to people, it'll say send, but if I get rid of the attendees, it'll now say save, which will just save it as a normal event on my calendar. I can also change my availability status. So I'm going to be out of the building. So you choose away, and then I can choose a category tag for this event. Since I don't have any, I'm not going to do that. And then I have response options. So do I want to request responses? So I want people to say yes, tentative, or no. Allow them to send that invite on to other people that weren't included, or do I want to hide those options? And then there's an option to incorporate this into OneNote and my templates, or get extra add-ons. So like if you want to add Jiffies or GIFs or emojis and extra things like that, that'll be there. So I'll click save once I'm done, and you'll see the event showed up on my calendar. And when I hover over it, it'll darken and those little white dots will show up. Those let me adjust the length of time, so I can increase or decrease the amount of time for that event. Or if I click and hold on it, I can drag it to a certain time during the day, or even onto another day. If I'm like, oh, this is actually supposed to be a longer event, or actually, haha, JK, it's shorter. Oops. And then I could say, oh, I actually need this on Saturday at that time. And then I can just drag it over. Now, if I want to do some editing to it, I can click on it. If I just click on it once or hover over it, I'll get a little tip preview, and then I can get a larger summary if I click on it just once, where I can delete it or edit it. And if I double click, it'll take me to the larger window where I have the option to edit, change my availability, delete it. So all those same options will be there. You just have to be in the larger dialog window. So if I'm like, oh, hey, I actually need to either add more information or change the name of it, or I could say, since I want to duplicate this one, I'm going to make sure I note that it's the second occurrence in case people couldn't make it to the first one. But I want it to be on the next day. At this time, I click on and then save it. And so since I'm in week view and the week is Sunday to Saturday, I need to click either on the calendar to go to the next week, or click the arrows right above the calendar to go to the next week, and I'll see the event listed right there. And if I right click on the event, I have the options to edit, change the charm, show as, which is just my availability, add those categories, duplicate that event again, or delete it. I'm going to go ahead and delete. Say, are you sure? And even though this is a duplicate of the other event, it's its own separate event, so it won't delete both of them. It'll delete the one that I choose to delete, and then I can right click on the first one and then delete that one as well. So now everything's all clear and beautiful. Now if I wanted to create another event, I can either click on the time or day I need. So if I want it to be an all-day event, I can click on that top or the day of the week that I need. So if I want it to be on Tuesday, instead of clicking on time, I can click right on the day and it'll pull up and automatically mark it. So if I click once, it'll give me that medium dialog window and then highlight that entire day to where I can go ahead and create the event from here. Because I don't necessarily need to be in the larger dialog window because there's not much information. And I was trying to see if they have a little coffee cup because does Starbucks, but they don't, so bummer. I'm gonna go ahead and just click the utensils because I like their cake pops. Anyway, so I can change it. I can set my location, or I can say which Starbucks I'm at. Again, either for other people to know where I am if they need to find me, or if I wanted to have a good idea of how far away I need to go. And then I have the option to choose whether or not this is a repeat event. Anyway, I can change this to be a repeat event, and since I want it on 2 certain days of the week, I can click on Tuesday and Thursday. If I want to remove the end date because I want it to keep doing that indefinitely until I stop it, I can do that. And so I'll save it, and you'll see it's listed right underneath the day of the week, and it's not in the body of the calendar because it's an all-day event. It's going to show up at the top. So that can be kind of tricky if you're looking for it in the bottom. It's at the top. And so as I click through each week, we'll see it at the top on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I made it reoccurring. And if I say, hey, I'm actually going to miss on Tuesday, I'll have to work somewhere else, I can right click on that event and go to delete, but now I'll have the option to delete this event, this and everything going forward, or everything before and after this. But I want to just delete just that one event because I'll still pick up going after that. I'm only missing that one day. So that's why that one's listed. That way I can delete it without messing up my other reoccurring events. And so I'm going to go ahead and delete all of them as I changed my mind. And then sometimes you'll get flags at the bottom that'll say, hey, do you want to undo this? And you can say yes or no. So to review, we got to our calendar by going to the little calendar icon or the app launcher in the upper left-hand corner, and then clicking calendar. And then that's how you'll get there. And then you can go ahead and start making your events. So that's what I have for you today. Have a wonderful day.
And we want to thank you for watching. Follow us to find more videos just like this. Our page on Facebook is MCPL 360. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you miss us on Facebook, you'll still find these same videos on our YouTube channel at MCPL Mo. Find our consumer technology playlist. Have a good day.